All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us wherever you're watching, whatever time you're watching. I want to do a quick intro of where I am at and my name, and then present beautiful folks that will be presenting today. So my name is Marilyn Montaño. I am the bookstore and events manager here at LibroMobile. LibroMobile is an arts cooperative. We're a bookstore, and we also have Crear Studio, our new gallery space. And I'll do a quick plug towards the end because we have an exciting art exhibition, our first art exhibition for Crear Studio. So I'll plug that at the end. So yeah, I'm live from the bookstore. We're located in Calle Cuatro in Santana. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 12 to 6. And we have different members from the cooperative that help open the bookstore. And we are all artists, writers, we kind of, we're involved in different parts in the community. So, so welcome virtually, and we hope to see you in person soon. So, all right. So that, and then I'm also a poet, gonna quickly say that as well. So I'm very excited to present everyone here today. You'll get to hear them. Their work will speak on its own. But just quickly for today, I will be having poetry. We'll be having poets, and we'll also hear from Le Bon magazine. And also we plan to do a feature event with Le Bon magazine for the fall. So be on the lookout for that as well. All right, so I'll be presenting the poets that will be on virtually. Becca Hiraheta, we will have Elvia Susana Rubalcava, and then we have Yvonne Sue from Le Bon magazine. And also Le Bon magazine, check them out. They're tagged on our Instagram. We'll tag them off, tag all the folks on this beautiful panel after this event. And we will also tag OC Zine Fest, of course. Thank you so much to the folks at OC Zine Fest for doing this virtually. Sad that we couldn't do this in person, but this is it's how it's meant to be, and we're doing it. So a big applaud to all the folks over at the OC Zine Fest and at the Anaheim Public Library. Thank you for sharing this virtual space for artists and creators. So all right, so I'll be presenting first, and each person will be reading parts of their work, and then towards the end we will dive into some questions. But if you're interested in knowing more about them, I encourage you to follow them and follow beautiful projects that they are a part of. All right, so here we go. Up first, we have Becca Hiraheta, who is the author of Vos Sos, and Vos Sos is a poetry collection, and I'm gonna read Becca's bio, but I also want to give a quick compadre, comadre's introduction that we have here at LibroMobile, and it's basically, we like to read their bios, but we also want to let folks know in the audience, virtual audience, how we created this connection. And so really quickly, I met Becca through a poetry workshop that Sheila J. Sutter, from who's the author of Birthday Girl, she hosted some poetry workshops in the past, and that's where I met Becca and other amazing poets in Orange County that I didn't know I needed to be friends with and needed to hear their work. So I'm very excited for you all to hear from Becca. So now I'm gonna read Becca's bio. Becca Hiraheta is a Salvadorian American poet that is homesick in 2 languages for no place in particular. She writes about love, identity, and near colonization of her body. She has been published in the first ever issue of Hue Journal and featured alongside World Stage Press poets. You can usually catch her reading poems in various poetry venues across the Orange County, Long Beach, and Los Angeles area. Follow her on social media to stay updated on more poetry and other writing happenings. And here, I'm gonna do a round of applause for Becca. Woo!
Oh, so do I go? Okay. So I'm gonna read a poem. It's gonna be off my phone. So this bilingual chapbook is basically, it's in Spanish and English, and it's written in voceo, because in El Salvador they use voz instead of tu. So that's basically what it is. So this is one poem that I read at LibroMobile one time. It is called Dígame. So I'm gonna read it in Spanish. I'm gonna read it in Spanish and in English. So here you go. Dígame. ¿Cuánto me amas? Dígame que te encanta que soy chistosa. Dígame que yo puedo y yo soy fuerte. Dígame que yo volaré con mis alas. Dígame que soy alguien y no algo. Dígame que soy la causa de vuestra sonrisa. Dígame que mi alma es preciosa y quien soy te hace la locura. Dígame que soy más que lo que me parezco por fuera. Dígame que mi ausencia te molesta y un montón. Dígame que querés oír mi voz. Dígame que soy voz desastre favorita. Dígame que soy más de suficiente para vos. Dígame que cuando estamos juntos no hay dudas. Dígame que querés más de lo que puedo dar con mi cuerpo. Dígame que te hago recordar de la belleza en la vida. So that's how it ends in Spanish, in voceo. All right, and then this is it in English. Tell me how much you love me. Tell me you love that I'm funny. Tell me that I can and I'm strong. Tell me I will fly with my wings. Tell me I'm someone and not something. Tell me I'm the cause of your smile. Tell me my soul is beautiful and who I am makes you insane. Tell me I'm more than what I look like on the outside. Tell me my absence is bothering you, and a lot. Tell me you want to hear my voice. Tell me I'm your favorite disaster. Tell me I'm more than enough for you. Tell me when we're together, there are no doubts. Tell me you want more than what I can give with my body. Tell me I'm making you remember the beauty in life and that I don't belong to you, but that we belong to each other. and then that's it. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, I'm a little bit rusty. They're reading in Spanish, but yeah.
Thank you, Becca. All right. Thank you so much for reading, and it was really beautiful. All right, and then also you can find Vosos at LibroMobile here in Calle 4. We have it online as well, but you can also purchase a copy directly through Becca's Instagram bio. Go support local artists. We highly encourage, buying directly from the artists, and because we like to support artists here. So, go out and get your copy. All right, so up next, thank you, Becca. Up next, we have Elvia Susana Rubalcava. And I will also do a compadre introduction. Wow, where do I start with Elvia? I've met Elvia a few, it's been a few years now. And I'm really inspired by everything that Elvia does, whether it's theater, whether it's poetry. I really, I really am inspired by Elvia, but also recently I got to, witness her workshop facilitation through poetry and along with Angela and Elvia. Whenever, I'm really always like glad to come across Elvia because it's just the space that Elvia creates, and and she just helps bridge folks in the community, and so I really admire Elvia a lot. Elvia is a lot of beautiful things, and I admire her a lot. So, and I'm more than happy to present her today, and that you all get to hear from her. And yeah, so I'm gonna read Elvia's bio now. All right. So, Elvia Susana Rubalcava is a Chicana creative nonfiction writer, poet, playwright, filmmaker, and a teaching artist whose multidisciplinary artistic skills have shaped her storytelling and contributions through arts, leadership in Orange County and Los Angeles. So round of applause to Elvia. Happy to have her on here virtually. Here at LibroMobile, we published Elvia, her playwright called November 8th. And this was recent. So let folks know what you're about, and thank you for being on here, and yeah, I love you.
Oh, I love you too. I love LibroMobile and Zine and Anaheim Library. Thank you so much for hosting this panel. It was back in November that LibroMobile published November 8th. It's a play that was inspired by the 2016 presidential election, where 45 was elected and shocked people. And I was with my theater group, Chicanas, Cholas, y Chisme in Boyle Heights that night. We saw things happening, and so we got the news while we were together prepping for our show. And so the play, we did a reading LibroMobile last year. It's on YouTube. We'll share the link. I'm going to do a little one-woman show and present a bit. I just got to notice that my internet is a little unstable, so I apologize, but I'm going to read a quick little clip of it. And this is my play and what came out of it. So the women are gathering in the center of the theater. They're circling up because they're being really emotional, and are really angry about what happened. So this is one of the producers who's circling up the women. Who wants to lead us? I will, Claudia. Dear Heavenly Mother, thank you for letting us be together on this night. Guide us on this journey as we will suffer in the hands of this bastard, no good racist, chauvinistic, egocentric cobarde, who feeds to the world hate and fear, who will only lead us down a path of pain. Lindsay, prayer should be hopeful and full of love. Claudia, I wish my prayer could be kind and loving, but the truth is I hate their hate. They must all go and he must die. Get what? I can do it, Virgencita. I'm ready. I can go do the jail time. I can drive, poison, fly, whatever, knife, and do whatever that needs to be done so that that man never sits in the Oval Office. Lindsay, what about your sisters? I can leave the girls with you, Lindsay, right? You'll raise them, right? And you'll be where? Locked up or dead? Claudia, this has to be done. Trump must die, and all the white fucking supremacists who keep our people down. They did this, all of them. Lindsay, not all white people voted for Trump. You forget that I'm half white too, so don't damn all of us. But 53% of them voted for him. What about that? Claudia, I hate this as much as you. Elvia, I hate this as much as you do, but our love has to be stronger than their hate. We are fearless and a little bit loquita, but we'll fight back against all the oppressors. So that's just a little snippet. Sorry, Anaheim Library, for cussing. But the full reading of the play is on YouTube. You can look it up, November 8th by Susana Rubalcava. And please purchase, if you're interested, of November 8th, beautifully illustrated by Alicia Rojas. Gorgeous, gorgeous cover that was made for my short play. It premiered at Casa 0101 Theater a few years ago, and hopefully I'll make it into a film one day. So thank you for letting me read.
Woo! Aw. Love it. Yeah, everyone go check it out on YouTube. We will also at LibroMobile after this, we will reshare it on our pages. Yes, and then we have copies available as well if you're interested. But go follow Elvia because she always has a workshop going on, sharing some beautiful writing prompts if you need to get inspired. So thank you, Elvia, for sharing. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Yvonne Sue from Laban Magazine. Woo! And also, Yvonne is also a book advisor here at LibroMobile, and she has written LibroMobile tiny reviews as well in the past, and I know she's looking to write more, so be on the lookout for that as well. And if you're interested about what LibroMobile tiny reviews is, we have it on our website. I will also share it on our Instagram stories. If there is a book that you want to that you're interested in writing about, you want everyone to know what this book is about, or whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be a book that you purchase from the bookstore. It could be from anywhere. Maybe there's a cool book that you find at the Anaheim Public Library and you want to share, you want to write a book review. And the cool thing is that you get paid as well. You get a small stipend. So yeah, a little small tiny reviews plug in. But all right, I'm going to introduce Yvonne Sue. I'm going to read Yvonne Sue's bio. And I will also be reading Laban Magazine's bio as well. All right, here we go. Yvonne Sue, a writer and organizer from Irvine, California. She joined LibroMobile as a contributor to Ellen Voices in 2020. She enjoys working on zines, making graphics, and planning virtual events. She currently works as a copy editor. Woo! And I also give a quick comadre's introduction as well. Over the time of meeting Yvonne, I got to meet Yvonne because she was interested in being a volunteer at the bookstore. And this was before the panorama, and here at LibroMobile, we love Yvonne, and she's, in one way or another, has either come to some of the events, and also has been a virtual audience member through our virtual events when, this past year. And she got to write for Ellen Voices. So, got to meet Yvonne through that, and also through other projects like AIDS Against the Virus. So, it's been nice meeting Yvonne, and I love, she's always reading something really cool, especially YA novels. But yeah, if you're interested in knowing what Yvonne is reading, follow her, read her latest reviews. But it's been great to know Yvonne, and bookworm tonight. All right, I'm gonna be reading Laban Magazine's bio as well. And Yvonne can talk more about what Laban Magazine is and how she got to be a part of it. But We also have copies available at the bookstore, but you can purchase directly at Le Bon Magazine on Instagram. Go support them on through their social media on Instagram. I believe they have a physical or a digital copy, whatever preference you like. All right, I'm gonna go and read Le Bon Magazine's bio. So Le Bon Magazine is a cross-cultural magazine with contributors spanning from many different organizations and individuals centered around Filipino culture and liberation from the perspective of Filipino American youth and community members. Based out of Bayahin Collective, a Filipino youth and student community-based organization aiming to educate, celebrate, and advocate for our community. Le Bon looks to celebrate the unique voices and experiences of our youth and community through their visual art, photography, poetry, creative writing, nonfiction writing, opinion writing, and educational and advocacy writing. For more information, you can email lebonmagazine@gmail.com, or they have their social medias as well if you're interested to know more about it. But without further ado, here we have Yvonne Sue.
Oh, thanks, Marilyn. So I'm first going to read a piece by Roslyn Silva. Roslyn is a queer Filipina student activist, and she wrote this piece about how she moved from student activism to actually working in the community. So it starts saying, but what part of that helped the most marginalized Filipino people? What I mean is, what did any of my essays or campus events mean to Filipino students who couldn't afford to be at a four-year university? What did my speeches mean to ESL community members? What does it mean to pay tuition and have that money go to the Philippine military to bomb indigenous communities? I'm not writing this to disgrace academics and recent grads. I know that there exists the Escolar Nagbayan. I know I'm not the only one who graduated with these well-intentions, these goals to come back with my degree in total service to my community. But in time, I learned that you cannot use academia to liberate our people when academia itself helped shackle us. So so I love this because it shows how Bayan is based out of a student organization. And I love how Roslyn, she's really honest about what being a student, being a graduate, and being an organizer means to her. And then I will now read a poem by Daniel. So he is the editor of Laban, and then the poem goes with this artwork. Yeah. That is by Erica Ten Idora. So the poem is Daniel's response to the poem by Kipling called The Free Man's Burden. So as you know, the Philippines is a US colony / semi-colony. Okay. So take up the free man's burden to protect our nation's soul, secure our descendants' future before ingraining tyranny whole. Oh, dreadful America, your acts do not set us free. You killed our children 10 and up from sea to shining sea. Take up the free man's burden, take up no white man's dream. Slash a puppet master at the hand and reveal the source of the regime. Stand up against these evils on the land we built, we stood. Makibaka huwag matakot. We must end imperialism for good. Oh, yes. This one feels very timely with what's going on right now, but thank you.
Ooh, thank you, Yvonne, for sharing. And we, look forward to having Le Bon Magazine be a feature here at LibroMobile. So be on the lookout for that. All right, and so we're gonna dive into the questions now. And I'm gonna start with Becca, or whoever. I'm gonna start with Becca, and then whoever wants to answer, we'll take turns. The first question is, how did you get started with your current project that includes your zine?
Okay, so I got started on it. It all like ends up, it first starts in like a Google document, like some type of a Word document of some sort. And then I basically, this was kind of like basically like a year and a half in the making at least. Like you have to get the ideas on like a Pinterest board, and then it goes in a Google Doc for editing, and then I did the cover myself, and then the whole thing, that's how it basically started, was with a Google Doc and me looking at my poems that I was reading at open mics. So that's where it usually ends up first, and then a Google Doc. So yeah.
And then we have Elvia.
So how I got started. So I was talking with Sarah Rafael Garcia, founder of LibroMobile, and she brought it up. I mentioned I wanted to do a zine, eventually of my poetry, but because the election was coming up, I wanted to kind of warn people again about 45 and so forth. So we did this reading, and then she offered to do a zine of it, and I just absolutely love it. So proud. I'm collecting all the money that I'm making in my own pouch, but yeah, she helped me with putting it together. We looked, I did an editing of it. It is a play, so and it's dedicated, to all the, so it says dedicated to Chicanas, Cholas, y Chisme Theater Collective. And again, the cover art is made by Alicia Rojas. Sarah connected me to her, and I absolutely love the image, the Adelitas that are on it, and the importance of empowered women to doing something about speaking up and speaking out. And so I'm really grateful for the process. Yeah, it's just get it done, and it happens so quickly. And I love zines, and I definitely want to connect with Yvonne and Rebecca and pick up yours. And every time I go to LibroMobile, I'm always picking up 3 or 4 zines. I love new writing. I love fresh writing, and that's where you get it hot and ready and fresh.
Thank you. Yvonne?
Yeah, so Babane came out this spring, but we actually started during the pandemic. Bayanihan Collective, the student org is based out of. They actually did a zine last May as a fundraiser for like a typhoon that happened in the Philippines. So that was like the 0.05 version of this zine. And then this year we decided to do like a proper zine that's printed, and yeah.
Oh, love it. All right. Thank you for your answers. The next question is, what is something that you hope for others to take away from your zine? And whatever that may be. Can we start with Becca?
Well, I mean, the intention and purpose behind it was, so that there are more bilingual books in the world, because they're very hard to find side-by-side books. And I really hope people learn how to speak Spanish a little bit more, and that, both would be used more, I guess, predominantly, because growing up here in Orange County and being Salvadorian, I don't personally, with my family, I don't use it very often. It's very hard. Like in Los Angeles, I think that would be a different story, but for me, it was kind of like a form of like reclamation. And also, like, I just really hope that people learn more about Spanish and writing it, because I mean, there's also speaking it, and then writing it is like a whole different thing, right? So I just hope that people feel inspired to write about love, and that there's more Spanish poetry out there, because like, you know, we are so used to like Neruda and like, you know, Sandra Cisneros kind of dominating the game, and it's just kind of like we need more like Spanish writers, especially younger ones, because I just think that there like needs to be a voice for this particular generation. So I really hope that that's what people take away from it. Yeah.
Thank you. We have Yvonne.
I think we started this magazine to like kind of like give a platform for Filipino, especially young Filipino artists, poets, and writers, and also artists. So we want to continue doing that, and also show like a strong tradition of like youth activism, and also history.
Yes, love that. All right, and then last question we have is, what would you suggest to others that want to start their own projects of you know, on their own, or you know, maybe they what is some advice now that you yourselves have put out something in the world, you know, what is something that you would suggest or an advice?
Like Elvia said, just do it, just execute it. Like I was in my head about it for so long. I think planning it out is really important though too. So I'm really glad I put a lot of thought into it, because I think that's I wanted to make something. I wasn't willing to have a publisher tell me no. I knew exactly what I wanted it to look like. And so I guess doing the research, and I think another thing that had helped me was looking at what other people had done that I had bought chapbooks from. So like what type of paper it's made out of, like what type of books do you want to see? Like I knew that I wanted it to be hand binded, and I wanted it to be simple, and I wanted it to be a very particular type of way. So I think that's what's cool about self-publishing and like releasing your own chapbooks, is that you really have a lot of control over how it's going to really exist in the world. So that's what I really enjoyed about it. And I think it's just executing, just do it. I just say, just do it. Yeah.
Yes. All right, and then we have Elvia.
Yeah, that, and then just make sure you have eyes on it, even though it's something like you want to put out. You want to make sure that it's edited. Even this zine, I caught, of course, at the end, right when it's printed, a couple of mistakes, but it happens. It happens in big books, you know, things that are out there. So beat yourself up about it. Collaborate, support places and small presses like LibroMobile and spaces that, you know, open those doors for you. Find your community, but also give back to your community. You don't want to just be the type of writer or artist that asks, but doesn't give back. I like working with people who are collaborative, who do stuff out in the community and help other artists supporting artists. That's what it should be about.
Woo. All right, and then we have Yvonne.
I think for me, I had made zines like by myself before, but I think like making one with a community, with a group of people, I feel a lot more supported. And also just having like being part of LMAC and being part of Elvia's writing group and meeting Becca, I think having a writing community has been like a really huge step for me this year as a writer and zine maker.
Ooh, love it. All right. So, you know, now I want to, I want to give the space for the folks on this panel to give a shout out, plug in your work. What's the something you have coming up, but also, quick, I want to give a quick plug in to Crear Studio, which is part of LibroMobile. Arts Cooperative. And we can follow Crear Studio on Instagram as well. But we have an art exhibition coming up, and it's free to the public. We also have it virtual, but we will be featuring Albert Lopez Jr., El baile del dólar que nunca tuve. So that will be September 4th, and it will run through October 7th. So there will be an artist talk and reception on Thursday, September 23rd at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it will also be virtual as well through Crear Studio Instagram. So check that out. If you happen to stop by the bookstore at LibroMobile, we have a flyer. We have a cool barcode. You can snap a photo and it'll take you to a cool website. And where is Crear Studio? Well, it's within a couple minutes of LibroMobile. It's 222 West 5th Street, Santa Ana, California. And we'll be having some open hours, but all that info is on our Crear Studio Instagram page. But yeah, follow. All right, and thank you everyone for being on this panel, but I want to give the opportunity for folks to give their shout outs and their plugins and what they have going on. We'll start, whoever wants to start.
Oh, okay. I was gonna type. I'm gonna type it also, but after I'm done talking, I guess. But so so I have my chapbook. You can get it for $12 at LibroMobile, which is, hopefully a little more accessible. And then I have a Gumroad where I'm selling it for $15 with the digital zine and the physical one, and then the digital version I have for $5 on there. So if you want to purchase it for that much, like, that would really be cool too. If you can't really purchase the physical one, if that's cool. And then I also have started a Tumblr blog about decolonization and prison abolition and the intersections between them. It's called Decolonization X Abolition. I'll type it up on the chat and stuff. And you can also find some work that I'm doing with the Poetry Lab. So I'm basically have written an article about Teresa Sayagontinu. And so there will be more work coming up pretty soon. And so you can that's mostly where you can catch me around. You'll probably see me at some open mics when the world becomes a little bit more normal these days. So yeah, that's where you can find me, mostly in Orange County and Long Beach, to be honest. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I can
go ahead, Yvonne. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to be interviewing our new OC Poet Laureates, and you can look for their profile in LM Voices Arts and Culture column in October. And then I also have articles out on Mochi Magazine, and where I also write about arts and culture. So you can look for my writing there.
You can follow me on Instagram at Chicana Chingona. And I do have a website. It's elviasusana.com. And I teach a series of creative writing classes. Thank you, Marilyn and Yvonne, for plugging them. Along with my creative partner, Angela Estela. We create Artista, and part of that is a series of workshops called Rio de Mi Vida, Writing Our Stories. Breath of Fire Latina Theater Ensemble is our sponsor, and we've been teaching quarterly classes. They're located in Santa Ana. And so our next class is in October, and we'll be writing about the future, what the future holds, writing about our thoughts, what we're expecting, or not wanting to expect. And then I'll be teaching on our own a playwriting class, how to transform your poems and short stories into plays.
Woo, exciting. Woo. All right, and I will tag everyone on here on the panel through our Instagram and Facebook. So go follow them. Thank you for watching. And whenever you're watching this, and we're here, LibroMobile in Calle 4, if you happen to to be in the area, or you can also shop virtually, or check us out virtually through our website link as well. And a big shout out to OC Zine Fest, or folks organizing Anaheim Public Library. Thank you so much for being patient and working with us and doing all this. And yeah, go follow OC Zine Fest as always, and all the folks that they have featured as well.